And so when I think of those performances, I think that's the reason why I maybe, if I've to this point managed to avoid being pigeonholed, it has to be because I've just had such incredible directors protecting me. Look at all of those films, you have to look at the directors who just kind of, because you know how it is, we do our best, we give the raw material to them, but then it takes on a whole nother life, and the director is the one that guides it and edits it. And
picture this, it's 2013. Anne Hathaway just won an Oscar. She should be on top of the world, right? Wrong. The internet decided to hate her. Fast forward to now, and guess what? The hate's back, but for a whole new reason. Where Hathaway's latest comments on abortion have reignited the Hathahate. But this time, it's not just about her personality, it's about what she's saying and how it reflects on Hollywood's bubble. Let's dive into this mess and see what's really going on. Remember when everyone loved Anne Hathaway? Yeah, me neither. It's like one day she was America's sweetheart, and the next, boom, everyone's favorite punching bag. What happened? Let's rewind a bit. Hathaway was killing it in the early 2000s. The Princess Diaries, The Devil Wears Prada. She was on fire, but then something weird happened. People started hating on her for the dumbest reasons. Her smile was too big, she tried too hard, she was too perfect. I mean, seriously? The Hathahate thing got so intense, it was like a sport. People were picking apart everything she did. Her Oscar acceptance speech, torn to shreds. Her hosting gig at the Academy Awards, roasted. It wasn't just random internet trolls either. Other celebs were jumping on the hate train too. But why? Was it jealousy?
And it's like, and it's a work call, and I'm sitting there, and I make it about 30 seconds. My patience is not there.
I could be silent and just absorb that for a lot longer, but that wouldn't be very fun for your audience. So I'm just going to say.
And then finally I stand up, I'm like, okay, you know, he's on a work call, and I'm like, okay, I'm going outside, you can come find me.
Maybe. She's talented, successful, and gorgeous. But it seemed deeper than that. People said she was fake, annoying, trying too hard to be likable. It's like we couldn't handle someone who seemed too perfect. The hate got so bad, it actually messed with her career. Hathaway herself said, "A lot of people wouldn't give me roles because they were so concerned about how toxic my identity had become online." Can you imagine losing jobs because people on the internet decided they don't like your face? It's crazy to think about. This woman won an Oscar and suddenly she can't get roles because of some weird internet hate campaign. It shows how powerful public opinion can be, even when it's based on nothing real. But wait, there's more to this story. The Hathahate era was just the beginning. Things were about to get even more complicated for Anne Hathaway and her relationship with the public. And it all ties into something much bigger than just one actress. So Hollywood's all about being woke now, right? Let's see how that's working out. Tinseltown's been on this big social justice kick lately. They're all about inclusivity and representation. Everyone's patting themselves on the back for being so progressive. But hold up. Isn't this the same industry that's been bullying people and canceling careers for decades? Talk about mixed messages. Now Anne Hathaway stepped into this mess with her abortion comments. She said some pretty heavy stuff about women's rights and freedom. Basically, she argued that abortion is essential for women to build their lives without restrictions. She even threw in that whole "women's rights are human rights" line. Heavy stuff, right? Well, surprise, surprise, people lost their minds. Conservative media went nuts, saying she's promoting abortion as some kind of empowerment thing. Meanwhile, liberal outlets were all, "Yeah, you tell them, Anne." It's like nobody can agree on anything anymore. But here's the thing, this isn't just about Hathaway. It's part of this whole trend of celebrity activism. These days, if you're famous, you gotta have an opinion on everything. And boy, do they share those opinions. It's like they forget that opening their mouths might actually hurt their careers. So what's the deal? Is Hollywood really woke? Or are they just pretending? Because it seems like they're all for free speech and bold statements until someone says something they don't like. Then it's cancel culture all over again. Is this just another round of Hathahate? Or is it something bigger? Are we seeing Hollywood's true colors here? It's like they want to be seen as these big champions of social justice, but only when it's convenient. The minute someone steps out of line with the approved opinions, boom, they're in the crosshairs. But you know what? There's another side to this whole mess that we need to talk about. Cause this isn't just about Hollywood being hypocrites or Anne Hathaway stirring up trouble. There's something deeper going on here, and it's affecting more than just the rich and famous. Remember when everyone loved Anne Hathaway? Yeah, me neither. It's like one day she was America's sweetheart, and the next, boom, everyone's favorite punching bag. What happened? Turns out being famous isn't all it's cracked up to be. Sure, you've got the money, the fancy parties, the designer clothes, but there's a dark side to all that glitz and glamour, and it's messing with celebs' heads big time. Like Anne Hathaway. During that whole Hathahate thing, she was going through hell. All that online hate, it wasn't just annoying, it was tearing her apart inside. She said it herself. When your self-inflicted pain is suddenly amplified back at you, it's a thing. That's deep, right? Imagine hating yourself and then millions of people jumping on that hate train. It's enough to break anyone. But it gets worse. While all this hate was going on, Hathaway was dealing with some serious personal stuff. She lost a pregnancy in 2015. And get this, she had to perform in a play where she gave birth on stage every night. Talk about salt in the wound. How do you even cope with that? And Hathaway's not alone. Tons of celebs are dealing with this kind of mental health mess. The internet's made it so easy for people to tear down stars 24/7. It's like there's no escape. You've got anxiety, depression, self-esteem issues, all because some random people decided they don't like your face. Social media's made it even worse. Yeah, platforms are trying to stop the hate, but let's be real, it's not working. Celebs are still getting dragged through the mud every day. It's like whack-a-mole, but with people's mental health. But here's the thing, Hathaway didn't just curl up and cry about it. Nah, she took all that pain and turned it into something good. She started speaking out about mental health. She's using her voice to help others who are struggling. It's like she's saying, yeah, I went through hell, but I'm gonna use that experience to make things better. You know what? Maybe that's why she's so vocal about stuff like abortion rights now. When you've been through the ringer like that, it changes you, makes you want to fight for others who are struggling. But hold up, this isn't just about celebrities and their problems. There's something bigger going on here, and it's affecting all of us. Let's talk about that. Hollywood's always been a circus, right? But now it's like we're all in the ring. Social media's turned us into judges, jury, and executioners. But here's the kicker. While we're busy tearing down stars, we might be destroying something much bigger. Let's get real for a second. This whole celebrity culture thing, it's not just about gossip and red carpets. It's a mirror showing us what we value as a society. And right now, that mirror's showing us something pretty ugly. Why are we so obsessed with bringing down celebrities? It's like we build them up just to watch them fall. Maybe it makes us feel better about our own lives, or maybe we're just bored. Either way, it's messed up. The media's not helping. They're like vultures circling a carcass, waiting for the next big scandal. They don't care about truth or context. They just want clicks and views. And we're eating it up like it's our last meal. Social media's made it even worse. Now we can tweet our hate directly at celebs. We feel like we know them, like we're buddies. But we're not. We're just strangers with a smartphone and too much time on our hands. And when celebs speak up about stuff like abortion, man, that's when things really get wild. Suddenly everyone's got an opinion. It's like we forget these are real people, not just characters on a screen. But here's the thing, celebs have a responsibility too. They've got millions of followers hanging on their every word. That's power, and with power comes responsibility. They can't just spout off without thinking about the consequences. So what's the deal with Hollywood and abortion these days? It's like they've gone from keeping it hush hush to shouting it from the rooftops. Is that progress, or are they just jumping on the latest trend? At the end of the day, we all need to take a hard look at ourselves. Celebs, fans, media, we're all part of this mess. And if we don't start treating each other better, famous or not, we're in for a world of trouble. So what do we do now? How do we fix this toxic relationship between celebs and society? That's what we need to figure out. So here we are, full circle from Hathahate to Hathaway, the advocate. Who'd have thought, right? This whole mess shows us just how messed up our relationship with celebs really is. We build them up, tear them down, then act surprised when they speak out. But maybe it's time we took a good hard look at ourselves. Are we part of the problem? Every time we tweet hate or jump on the latest cancel bandwagon, we're feeding this toxic culture. And for what? A few likes? Come on, we're better than that. Here's a wild thought. What if we actually listen to celebs instead of just reacting? Crazy, I know, but Hathaway's been through some real stuff and now she's using her voice. Maybe there's something to learn there. So what's next? Are we gonna keep this cycle of love and hate going? Or are we ready for something different? The ball's in our court. Time to step up and show we're not just a bunch of keyboard warriors. Let's make celebrity culture less about drama and more about actual conversations. Who knows? We might even learn something.
week.